Once again, we come to another edition of Life, Truth, and the Universe. So far, we've come a long way, and last week, you were given a lot of information about the power of prayer and how the Acquah Society, under the leadership of Dr. George King, have moved forward into advancing the use of prayer energy. And the Master designed this Operation Prayer Power, which is going on around the world, where the energies, as you were told, were collected and then stored and then released when it was needed. Now, if we step back a little, we'll remember that at some point, 1958, the Master Jesus started the mission we call Operation Starlight, when he sent energy through Dr. King while he was on a mountain praying for a war which was going on in Lebanon at the time. And at the same time, released energies into the mountain to start that mission called Operation Starlight, where 19 mountains around the world were charged with power so that they will become spiritual power centers for the use of mankind. Why did the Masters do that? To recap, they realized that the energy level, spiritual energy level on this earth was far too low for any useful purpose. And as a result of our past thought and actions, our planet had been surrounded by what we call the ionosphere, which actually is a spiritual filter, which prevented the very high frequencies, solar energies and cosmic energies, which gave inspiration to people, had to sieve it, because we have not evolved to a level where these energies will be safe for us to use. For this reason, Operation Starlight was put into effect so that we will have energy under the ionosphere on the surface of this planet, where man can tap in and use these energies for our benefit. Now, you can see that there was a plan to all this, because the Master Jesus saw fit to start transmitting what you were shown, the book, the 12 blessings, at the same time, so that these powerful prayers, selfless prayers, could be used in conjunction with the energies that had been put in the mountains. These set of prayers were not prayers that were put down as a result of inspiration. These were direct transmission, direct voice of the Master Jesus to give these prayers in the 12 blessing book as they were given. As a cosmic intelligence, and also someone who is known as the Master of Love, if you study the book very carefully and the prayers that are in there very carefully, you will see that it must be powerful. If we know anything about the law of God, which says that what you send out is what you get back. Also, there is another spiritual truth, that when you send energy towards something or somebody, that energy has to come back to you. Now, if that energy touched the soul of someone greater, then of course that energy will then be imbued with the properties of that thing or that somebody to whom you send the energy before it came back. Let us take the 12 blessings, for instance. The first blessing is, blessed are they who work for peace. All the people on the planet who are working for peace in diverse ways. Even if it is someone who is trying to settle disputes in a married home, he is working for peace, trying to bring peace into the home. So he belongs to the group soul of those who work for peace. Now, if by the law you send out a blessing to the group soul of those who are working for peace, by law, that energy must be touched and imbued with the properties of peace before that energy comes back to you. So instead of praying to God, God grant me peace in my days, God settle my problems for me, the law doesn't work that way. You first sacrifice something, sacrifice your energy, send out this blessing and love to the group soul of those who work for peace. By law, that energy must come back to you, thereby imbuing you yourself, touching you yourself with peace. So you find that the Master Jesus used the natural law to give us these blessings based on natural law, which therefore makes it far more effective than an unbalanced prayer, which is asking something directly for yourself. That does not go along with the natural law. Send out first, sacrifice something else first, and then that thing comes back to you. The second blessing, blessed are the wise ones, for they walk through a dark and ignorant world, spreading their light. Your power or blessing goes out to the group soul of the wise ones. Who are the wise ones? Masters who have gained wisdom. Masters who are advanced enough to be the source of wisdom. Your blessing goes to the group soul of these masters. It will be touched by the power, the wisdom of these great ones. When by law that power is returned back to you, what does it do? It grants you wisdom. Instead of praying, God, grant me wisdom. That does not go along with the law. So the returns, the result of that prayer cannot be as powerful as obeying the law and sending out your blessing to the group soul of those wise ones. He demonstrated, blessed are they who love, for they are the disciples of God. He demonstrated how all these prayers must be said. You send out your blessing first, sacrifice something, your blessing first to the group soul of those who love. Now, who are those we can call as those who love? We know mankind, we don't even understand the word love. We don't even understand the word love properly. But those who truly love, as the prayer says, who are the disciples of God. We are talking here about the great masters who know what love is, like the Master Jesus, whom we call the Master of Love. He is a disciple of God because he knows how to use that energy correctly, and the way he is showing us is also to learn to use this energy correctly in order to bring about our own evolution. So you send out a blessing, sacrifice your energy, a blessing to the group soul of those who love. That energy is bound to come back to you, lifting you up again a little bit more. We go to the blessing, blessed are the planetary ones. The planetary ones, who are these planetary ones? We are talking about the beings on the other planets who, as a result of their love and compassion for humanity, come down either personally to come into the incarnatory cycle of earth and be born so that they can help us, as in the case of the Master Jesus, for example, or those who in emergency have to come in spacecrafts to execute certain operations in order to help us. We go to the fifth blessing, which is blessed are the thanksgivers. There is something which our ancestors, I am sure ancestors in every race knew of this. that there are other creations